Oh, come on. We're there. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Wandering DMs. I'm Paul.
And I'm Dan. And on this very well-prepared episode of Wandering DMs, we're going to be doing a new Design Dash project. We've done a couple of Design Dashes in the past where we make a whole dungeon adventure live in 1 hour on the air. And today, we're going to do the same thing, except in the wilderness for the very first time. Completely unexplored territory, Paul. We're marching off into the boonies, and we don't know where we're going to come out.
It just sounds like the setup here. Yeah, we're definitely scrambling there to get everything in place for this. Hi, everyone. This actually, what I have here is a map that I've been wanting to stock for a while now. I think it's going to be really fun to do because it's pretty different from the stuff we've done so far. It is another Dyson map. I know we've gotten some flack in the past for overly relying on Dyson. Sorry, everyone. You get another Dyson map, but maybe in the future we'll try to find other maps to use. But let me put that up on screen so we can talk about it. Here we go. Okay. So for the sake of those listening in on the podcast, I'm going to describe it a little bit. This is a wilderness map. There are 8 keyed areas. It kind of depicts this group of mountains in the northeast. You've got a trail coming down from the mountains. That's area number 1. Trail comes down, forks at the base of the mountains. To the southeast is, I don't know, what is that, Dan? Maybe either fields, either like farmed fields, or maybe a ruins, maybe. Marked as area number 3.
Yeah, area number 3 looks like ruins to me.
Yeah, ruins could be ruins. Trail proceeds to the west through a little forest and up to some kind of keep. That's area number 2 is the keep. From the keep, the trail proceeds south across a bridge over a little river along the banks of a lake, and the lake is dead center in the middle of the map here. Where the trail comes next to the lake at area number 4 appears to be some kind of standing stone of something, or some kind of monument marker.
Yep.
Trail then proceeds and forks, goes to the east, kind of towards the middle, just south of the lake, where you have what is clearly a farm. Right, there's a building and looks like some plowed fields. That's area 5. The other side of the fork goes towards the southwest, down towards the corner of the map, where it kind of travels through some interesting looking rock formations. I think. Some kind of rocky hills,
some badlands or something.
And then goes off the map that way. In the southeast corner, bottom right corner of the map, the river comes off the lake, heads towards the southeast. So the trail is nowhere near these areas. At number 8, just at the top of some cliffs, it looks like, again, there's another ruin or old some kind of dwelling or building or something. It does not look like it is in good shape to me, Dan. What do you think?
I totally agree. That's either ruined or just a hill or something. That's clearly some kind of ruined building.
Yeah, some kind of ruined building. It's right on the edge of a cliff, so then the river falls down off of a little falls, pools at a small pond in front of a cave entrance into the side of the cliff there at area number 7. And then the river proceeds all south off the map. So there you go.
Interesting.
I guess now that I'm zooming in on the map, I notice there are some other interesting little odd features. I guess just south of the keep, there's another little falls, it looks like, before the river enters the main lake.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it also looks like just north of the trail there is maybe a giant pumpkin. Am I reading the map there right, Dan? Do you see a giant pumpkin?
Now I'm not going to be able to unsee that, I guess. What that is?
Is that
I don't know what else that
would be. A giant pumpkin? Yeah, what is that? Is that a giant? I'm gonna say it's a giant pumpkin. I wish I had numbered. I should have put a number there. Somewhere between, so Dyson doesn't number his maps, I put these numbers in.
Right.
And only now, in retrospect, I'm looking at it going, damn, I should have put a number there. Maybe it's tied to number 3 or number 4 in some way. We'll figure it out.
2A or 3A'ers. Yeah. Interesting.
Okay. So another thing, Dan, you and I were talking about. Oh, I guess you wanted the first thing you wanted to establish is what level is this for, right?
Correct. I feel like that's like what kind of PCs are you throwing through this? So I think let me just comment a little bit on the style. I guess for the podcasters.
Yeah.
So this is not like a hex map like some of our adventures are on. So this is kind of 2.5D style. What am I trying to say? Isometric type style, right? So you're seeing it as if maybe an actual person in game had drawn this from a high peak or something like that. So doesn't have scale on it. I guess we're free to make up whatever we want. Doesn't have spaces on it. So kind of an interesting kind of graphically narrative style to Dyson's map there. Cool. Yeah, I feel okay. So right. So I like to pick the targeted level for this particular area first. And I think classically you would want wilderness areas to be at least 4th level, if not higher than that.
I mean, that's the BX split right there, right? Like, you don't get to see the wilderness until level 4 in the expert book. So I'm totally down for that. I might even push it a little higher, maybe like 6, 7, something like not quite super high level, but mid high level, upper mid level.
Yeah, let's go 6. I would say. Yeah, let's go 6. Plus or minus. Yeah,
sure. So 5 to 7.
6. Yeah, perfect.
Great. Okay. Yeah. Great. Okay. Cool. So the other thing, normally, if you've watched the past Dungeon Design Delves before, Dungeon Design Dash, get my D's right. Usually, what we do is we start with Matt Finch's Adventure Design Desk book, and we use his location table to generate a title. But I don't think that fits for an Overlands because it really those titles tend to focus in on like the dungeon of, or the island of, or the mansion of, and I don't think we have that. We have a lot of locations here.
Correct.
So my recommendation to Dan was that rather we skip ahead to Volume 2 and we start by simply specking out what is the main horrible monster in this area. What is the biggest threat? You down with that, Dan?
I am. I think that's a good idea.
All right, so I'm going to ask you to do some rolling here, and I got the tables open in front of me. So go ahead and hit me with
my dice.
Percentile, and we're going to jump to the major monster category of our primary threat to this interesting locale.
Yep. Very good. How about 3?
3 is some kind of beast. Beast. Why don't you give me a second roll just to see if that's more exciting? But beast is good. I don't know. Beast is fine.
How about 83?
That gives us a plant.
It's wilderness. Let's pursue the plant. I was thinking about the Maxis Sim Earth game that I use sometimes, whereby if you're really, really lucky, you might get a civilization of carniferns, of carnivorous, intelligent plants. Very, very rarely.
Okay, great. So I'm going to jump to the basic form of plant monster. Give me a percentile roll.
23? Apparently, my digits always end in 3.
Coral type growth. No part of the plant moves, but it delivers a poisonous or transformational substance into its near vicinity. Delivery mechanisms include spores, smells, spiked seed pods on the ground, blown leaves, and gases. The result of falling prey into these substances include turning into a similar plant, turning into a plant creature controlled by the plant, turning into a seed carrier for the plant, or just dying to great fertilizer. So it's some type of coral type growth.
That's interesting. My only problem is coral makes me think that it's like offshore, and we clearly are not on the seacoast here. So maybe I'm going to try a second one there.
Okay, sure.
And I have no idea what's on this table. I have not seen this table. How about 37? What would that be?
It gives us hanging moss. The plant is mobile. In addition to fighting with mobile limbs, it has augmented attacks from this other table. So it's giving us some kind of hanging moss, and it's giving us a whole bunch of other subtables to roll on.
I kind of like that. I feel like that could be in the woods or the cave or the keep or a bunch of different places.
So the first thing it wants is to define the mobility. So give me another percentile roll. We'll see. How does it move?
I got 53.
Rippling movements like a snail or slug. So
Yeah.
it slithers and crawls across the ground. Excellent. It has an augmented attack, table 261. So give me another percentile roll. We're going to see its weird augmented attack.
78.
The plant's motile limbs stun a victim for short periods of time when they hit. A saving throw might or might not be applied. If the limbs cause clubbing type damage, the stunning is simply caused by the force of the blow. If the limb causes cutting or piercing damage, then the stunning is caused by weak poison and the creature's sap.
Yeah.
So it has some kind of stunning effect. I think it's since it's creepy crawling vines, I'm thinking it's got thorns that ooze some kind of venom that scrapes across you and stuns you. Maybe, perhaps, in some of the ruins, we will see them choked with vines and kind of Sleeping Beauty-esque creatures or people trapped in a kind of, suspended animation state.
That's really good.
Vines living off of the former inhabitants.
I like that a lot.
Exciting. Oh my gosh, Stephen Wendell, thank you so much. Is this a comment to our current discussion, or is this dated? I'm not sure, but he just posted pumpkin! Exclamation point.
Three minutes ago, yeah.
Creeping vines emitting off of the pumpkin, obviously, right? Obviously. It is creeping pumpkin vines that are slowly taking over the countryside.
That's creepy. Yeah, that's literally creepy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good one, you, Stephen. That's good. Should we? Does that monster table have like intelligence or motivation? So should we go back to?
No. Do you want to jump to the villain's plan table?
Yeah, let's go to the villain's plan table. So obviously we have an intelligent alien, creepy pumpkin moss thing going on.
Awesome. Give me a percentile roll. Let's see what its plan is.
Oh, you have it.
Yeah.
Okay, I got 41.
Its plan is economic power. That seems a little odd for a creeping plant growth. Give me a second one. Let's just see if we can find a better one.
Okay.
Economic power?
Let me just rip a little bit. It's trying to take over the economy with a new valuation that it calls a creepy coin.
Oh, come on. Give me another roll.
That is not a big hit. Okay. That's why we workshop this. 71.
Yeah. 71 gives us increased personal capability. The villain is trying to increase its inherent personal power. This might include gaining levels of experience, useful information, magic items, etc. Increased personal capability.
Yeah, I mean, I think possibly in some cases it possesses the people that it stuns, so they become its agents.
Great.
Or it level drains them. It could be a level draining creepy alien moss.
Excellent. It drains. Oh, you're throwing me. I like the idea that maybe it's not just putting them into suspended animation, but actually taking them over, right? Maybe their eyes, their irises turn orange as they're taken over by the by the pumpkin. I'm going to. Here we go. I'm gonna riff on a title here, Dan. I'm coming up with. Wait. I haven't flipped this over. How about Creeping Doom of the Pumpkin King?
Ooh.
Creeping Doom of the Pumpkin King.
That's great. Did you just come up with that?
Yeah.
You know what? I really like that.
Excellent.
That's great.
Okay.
That's great.
We had one other idea that we tossed out before we started this, and I know we're now chewing it. We're a third done. We're already a third done, Dan. Yeah. There are 8 locations on the table. I want you to just roll me a d8, and we're going to say there's a big. We note that we are terrible at putting treasure in our design dashes. So roll me a d8. Yep. That's going to be the location of a big ass treasure.
Okay. I got 5. Now I rolled 5.
5. That's awesome because that's the farm, which is really fascinating. It's not a place where I would inherently put a big ass treasure, but I'm actually really excited about that.
I'm just going to take I'm going to take a stab at. I suggest 7. I feel like 7 it's the creepy cave. There's no trail going there. It'll be difficult. I mean, maybe I'm a hard DM, but I feel like the hardest place, the most challenging place would be to put it in 7, and you got to find some kind of clue about where that cave is.
Okay, since we're notoriously bad at putting treasure in our dungeons, Dan, I'm going to say, how about both?
Great.
I want a big treasure at 5 and a big one at 7. Okay, great.
You got it.
Awesome. We're going to have to I feel like the theme here is that we're going to end up having to run this thing for Halloween. Yeah, maybe we'll do a special Halloween episode where we run this thing. Okay, great. Okay, so how do you want to start? You got a location you want to jump right into?
We should detail these treasures. We should detail these special treasures so we know what should be defending them and stuff like that.
And we should also place the Pumpkin King. Would be my other argument.
Yeah, I agree. Do you want to pick? Do you want to pick the? I guess we've discussed this in the past. Do you want to pick like the half dozen or so prominent monsters that show up on the wandering table, or do you want to pick that later?
I usually like wandering monsters at the end, but I'm happy to be convinced otherwise. If you feel like usually I don't have a good feel for the different kinds of monsters until we're close to the end. But prominent monsters, obviously, the Pumpkin King's got to be here, right? I'm not sure if the Pumpkin King is the entity, the consciousness itself, or is there an actual king who's been taken over by the creepy pumpkin, sentient pumpkin thing?
I think I like that latter bit because then people come into this adventure thinking that the king is the main boss, and then plot twist, it's actually not.
Right. Okay. So here's my proposal for you. The Pumpkin King, or the king who's been taken over by the pumpkin sentience, is at number 2. Obviously, the castle. But the actual pumpkin sentience, that's the origin of this creeping vine, is at number 5. Right. It's at the farm.
Okay.
So that is like the originally it was a pumpkin patch at number 5, and it's slowly spread across the lands and pushed its influence. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna be obsessed with number 7. So I guess I might have gone number 7, but like maybe the pool there is collecting magical energy in some way that it spawned out of that. Grew to number 5 and then took over number 2.
See, number 7 seems so remote to me. It feels like it's an interesting place for sure, but I guess I don't feel like it's part of the creeping. Like, are you imagining like vines coming up out of the cave across the top of the cliff or something? And then I'm trying to imagine the spread of this vine that's kind of taken over the lands.
It captured some people. It captured some people or non-humans, and they walked over to number 5 and then collapsed and spread the vines that were in them.
So what's at 5 then? What's your we know there's a big treasure there, and it looks like a friendly. It's like the one nice looking location on the map, which is also why I kind of like inverting it and being like, no, it's horrible. But
totally. But, like that's the first thing they took over. They took over that, and now from that location, they're growing the vines in the rich soil, and they're grabbing more people, and it's spreading out from number 5.
Okay, I feel like it's time to start writing some stuff here. What I need to do is jump past the first page. There we go. And what I'm going to say is number 5 is so number 5 is the farm, right? So maybe there's a farmer here, right? There's a farmer taken over by what can we name this pumpkin sentience thing? You just is that actually the Pumpkin King, or is that confusing to have like the local lord? Who's the Pumpkin King? That's what I'm trying to get at. Who's the Pumpkin King? Is the Pumpkin King the sentience, or is the Pumpkin King the puppet?
I think the Pumpkin King is the puppet, and we have another background villain beyond that.
I mean, anybody in the chat got a name for the actual monster? It's the I don't know. Okay. Put a placeholder in there while we think about that. So there's a farmer or farmer and family tending to pumpkin patch, and like they got like maybe the seeds for their thriving pumpkin patch was given to them by some strange subterranean creatures from number 7.
Yeah, totally. That's great.
Thriving pumpkin patch is given to them by what are they, Dan? What's at number 7? What kind of intelligent subterranean things do we have down there?
I think that's our alien moss, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So what? I guess okay. So in my head, I thought that there was something living in that cave that the moss took over first, that it then used to deliver. I thought that's what you were saying, was that there was like some dwarves or some gnomes or something that lived under there, and they got taken over by the moss, and then they came up above ground and helped spread the pumpkin to the surface folk. No? Is that not what you're getting at?
Could be. I was thinking more like travelers. So I was thinking like moss has taken over the caves, and then like some goblins come out of the woods and get taken over or something like that. But we could make it.
The way I was trying to spin it here, is that number 5 has this farm family, right, who's tending to the pumpkins, and that's like that seems like the origin of the pumpkins, and that maybe there's a chance here for players to either attack or to negotiate, right? Like they could come and talk to the farmer, and the farmer would be like, "Oh yeah, I have this wonderful pumpkin patch. It's the best," and they could maybe convince the farmer to tell them how they came about to have such wonderful pumpkins. And they say, "Oh yeah, of course. Well, I got some seeds from something."
Yeah, that's good. And actually, that could be the clue that would actually clue them into that they need to go to number 7, possibly.
Right. So did the farmer himself go to number 7, or somebody came from the hills?
What do you what's your gut say on that?
I don't know. I mean, it depends on what you want to find at 7, right? Is there sentient things down there, or is it just moss?
Probably there's some things that it's taken and brought into the cave, is what I was thinking. So yeah, there'll be some servants that are enslaved to it in 7.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Do you want the farmer at 5 to be actually like possessed?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Good. I'd be disappointed otherwise.
William suggests the creeping Jack. The creeping Jack?
Yeah, okay. Crazy.
Taking over the creeping Jack, tending to thriving pumpkin patch.
Interesting.
I'm just going to say the seeds are given to them by strangers from the hills to the south. Strangers.
Nice.
Came from the south. We can fill that in more later if we want. Okay.
Great. Cool.
7 is a moss-choked cavern wherein lives the Pumpkin King. Yeah?
Thought the Pumpkin King was in 2. I thought that was the...
Oh, I'm sorry. No, wherein lives not the Pumpkin King, but the Creeping Jack.
Yeah. Yes.
The source of the Creeping Jack guarded a variety of servants. What's this glorious treasure? We've filled 5 and 7, and we've put treasure in neither. That's how we rolled.
Okay. So I'm going to some tables that I've developed, and I'm looking at stuff that's appropriate for possibly 6th level here. So, Paul, I'm going to ask you. I'm going to specify the supposedly interesting treasures at both these places. So at 5, could you roll me a D10?
Yep. I got a 6.
Okay, so that indicates gems is what I have here. Could you roll another D10?
7.
Okay, so that's suggesting something like 350 gems that are worth 100 silver pieces. So we can modify that, right? Is this like extravagantly wonderful pumpkins in the field? Is that what it is? Like several hundred amazing pumpkins growing in the field that you could sell for like 100 silver each?
Where my mind first went was that it was the seeds themselves are in fact gems. But maybe you crack open the pumpkins, inside their seeds are glittering gemstones.
Nailed it. Do that. That's great. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm going to say the seeds inside the overly large pumpkins are valuable, are glittering valuable gemstones. Okay. How about number 7? What do we got at number 7?
Great. Okay, so I'm going to do 2. I'm going to have you roll twice here for that. Roll a d10, and probably.
I got a 2.
Okay, so that's. I see Electrum. Roll again.
And I got a 1.
Re-roll that because that's the same thing on this table.
Well, I got another 2. I think my dice insist that it be Electrum.
Okay, I'm going to roll something else here. Okay, I got a 6, which is more gems there. So roll. You say Electrum. Roll a d10.
I got a 4.
Okay, that should be
really
4,000 Electrum pieces.
Hit slightly over to the 4.
That's 4,000 Electrum pieces, and we could roll another d10 for the gems there.
I got a 9.
Okay, so that'd be like 450 gems worth 100 silver each.
So it's a big pile of Electrum pieces and gems.
So we can so I mean I feel like the gems could be more seeds, right?
Yeah.
So they've actually extracted the seeds from some of the seed pods that they're growing. What could we modify the Electrum value into that's interesting?
Can't explain it, but I was originally for some reason the thought struck me that the servants are wield Electrum weapons, are wearing Electrum armor. It's a weird metal to be covered in, but I don't know
I
why.
like that. I was playing Pool of Radiance Thursday, and I was like, I haven't seen any silver weapons yet, and that's kind of an interesting twist on that, actually. So why not? I mean, Electrum is like a silver gold alloy, right? So why not?
Means a harvest.
Possibly casks of quality cider is what I'm hearing from William.
Casks of quality cider. Pumpkin cider? Pumpkin beer?
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting. I'm going to think about that. That's interesting. I mean, okay. Now we know as metallurgists, as amateur metallurgists, we know that the weapons and the armor are just covered with a sheeting of the gold and silver alloy. It's not pure. I mean, that would be ridiculous. What kind of a game are we playing? You can't literally forge a sword out of electrum. I mean, obviously, it's just covered with it.
Interesting. Okay. All right. We spent too much time.
Other thing, Paul.
On. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there wasn't one other part of this treasure that we were going to add. We're going to add a fabulous throne of some artifact level interest there, right?
I mean, the throne of the Pumpkin King.
Yeah.
I forgot all about the throne.
Yeah.
Dan has a table of thrones he really wants to roll on, so let's do it.
Yes, I do. Okay, and this is out of Matt Finch's Tome of Adventure Design, and I thought that would make an interesting, possibly dangerous artifact thing that's going to inspire for us right now.
I'm going to be hard pressed to say that this is anything but area number 2. Go on.
Okay. All right. Great. Okay.
I mean, Pumpkin King's got to sit on a throne. Yeah.
You're gonna roll percentile dice 3 times here, and the first one is you're gonna get the unusual structural detail, and then the next 2 things will be the name.
All right. 83 is my first roll.
83, it's way down here. Okay, so the interesting structural detail is that the throne appears to be held in place with all manner of safeguards, such as welding, tying, bolts, cable, chains, etc. I think that should be twisted into it's held down by a whole bunch of vines growing out of the floor of the keep.
Yeah, probably like the whole interior of the room is covered in vines, and they turn and they intertwine and they coalesce into this massive throne.
Yep. Oh,
yep.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, great. Nice. Great.
Yep.
Awesome. Jeez. Okay, that's great. And then you're going to roll, and maybe we'll change this. Going to roll for name part 1.
77.
The Sorrowful Throne.
The Sorrowful Throne. Sorrowful.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right? And the second
and
part.
For part 2, I got a 2.
Of Changes. The Sorrowful Throne of Changes.
Pumpkin King resides in a courtroom covered in twisting lines that coalesce into the Sorrowful Throne of Changes. Sorrowful Throne of Changes? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That is fascinating. Yep.
Okay.
We have a suggestion from the chat that the Pumpkin King holds the Harvest Staff made of hardwood vines twisted together, topped by a corn cob-shaped glowing gem.
Wow. Okay. We're stealing that.
Yeah.
Oh. Something about changing of the seasons. Oh, geez. That's interesting. Should it have a weather control power?
So I'm copying this form of hardened, twisted vines, corn, cob, shaped glowing gem.
That is interesting.
Remind me, I'm going to jump back real quick here. What did we end up with is the actual where did we land on the goals of the villain? What was the villain's plan result?
It was trying to expand its power by, we decided, taking over, possessing people in the field.
Mm-hmm. All right, I want the Pumpkin King to have like crazy demands, right? So the harvest staff maintains a climate of permanent fall. Like the Pumpkin King demands a permanent, a permanent harvest of the forever harvest, and I don't know what kind of crazy demands the Pumpkin. I feel like the Pumpkin King should be making crazy demands of anyone who dares enter his palace.
Great, absolutely.
Maybe just demands that that anyone help spread the seeds of the bountiful pumpkin, bountiful pumpkin plants, to ensure a forever harvest for all the world.
That's great. And does he actually give people seeds that are gems as a sample?
Yeah, why not?
Great. He should give the visitors like one pumpkin and say, open it up.
Right. Right. Well, and I mean, and probably should invite them to their great harvest feast, where they're served various pumpkin dishes and expected to eat them. Obviously, so that the pumpkin, so that the creeping Jack can take over more victims.
Great. Yes, definitely do that. The cursed feast. That's excellent.
Okay, so great. He demands all who enter spread the pumpkin seeds across the lands to propagate the forever harvest. They're invited to join in the, what did you call it? The creeping
Jack? Is that what we're going for?
No. What's the name of the feast? They're invited to join.
I said cursed feast is what I said.
The cursed feast.
Seeds of the pumpkin. Maybe that's the name. Oh! Do you see what Steven just wrote? That needs to be in there. The Pumpkin King only serves a 1-year term. Then he is sacrificed in the fall. That's got to be in there. I love that. That's why it's a sorrowful throne of changes.
Yeah. Sorry. Wow. I'm trying to write out some text here about how they're invited to join the cursed feast, partake of various pumpkin delicacies that will ensure their fealty to the Pumpkin King. Okay. Great. I'm just dumping more text in here. We'll tune this later, but something about the Pumpkin King's reign lasts but a year, after which he is sacrificed. What did he say? Sacrificed in the fall. It's sacrificed. Oh my god. Well, this is getting a little Goblin King-ish, or Goblin Tower-ish, right? This is a little, but kind of like probably the PCs should arrive just as the term is ending, and they're about to have the Cursed Feast, where literally they're going to decapitate the king and serve his head as part of the feast and declare the new king.
Holy shit!
It might be one of the.
That's dark. Yeah. 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 Okay. All right. I bought it. That's pretty incredible, actually.
Served to the new king. Great. Okay. All right. We'll. There's a lot of thoughts that need to make it into that text, so that text is going to need a lot of editing, but that's fine. Yeah. We have 15 minutes left and still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 locations to fill out.
I think we should go around and plant some randomy monsters, and we can riff on that later if we need to. But I think we should throw in some other monstery type things. Should every place have a monster, or every place you've numbered, or should we go around and roll a d6 to?
I think we should randomly populate. I'm just not sure that any of them should be empty.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe some of them can be empty, can just be moody or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm now really enjoying the idea that this giant pumpkin is on the map between 1 and 2, but is not numbered. Like maybe there's some foreshadowing of like you come through this forest and you see these giant pumpkin fields and big ass pumpkins, but you know, it's no encounter there.
I agree.
Big pumpkins. It's fine. Big pumpkins.
I agree with that.
Great. Okay.
Yeah. I agree with that.
All right, I'm going to leave the map up here and not the text, which I've already accidentally done, but there you go. I've got a lot of text here for areas 2, 5, and 7. So give me what's in area number 1.
Great. We're gonna put a monster in every place, or do you want to possibly have some tricks instead? Or
I want to roll. Let's roll for each location.
Great. How about you roll a d6 and
sure.
Yep.
Area number 1. I got a 6.
Great. Oh shit. Okay. On a 6. That's rough.
Yeah.
Roll a d20.
20. I got an 11.
How about a gorgon? How about a petrifying metal bull? Gorgon. Yeah.
A gorgon?
Now it is, sure.
Good.
Yep. Now it's a gorgon. Great. Here we go. Here we go with this shit.
Sorry, I may be stealing here a bit from this permanent camper posted in chat. This time of year, the gourd goblin starts sprouting up everywhere.
Like, yeah, totally.
Great. Okay, so there's a gorgon.
So what,
number 1. Any treasure?
What's the? We'll figure that out later.
Okay.
And just throw it on the monsters for now. So what's the riff on its breath? What is different about a gorgon compared to a gorgon?
I don't know.
So it's been eating the pumpkins, right?
Yep.
So it's got pumpkin tainted breath, and instead of turning people into stone, it turns them into plants.
Okay, sure. Yeah. It's got pumpkin spice breath.
You know what? Okay, it turns them into a pillar of spice.
Wait, permanent camper, you're my favorite. Suggesting instead of stone, you turn into a pile of leaves. Like a bunch of fall leaves, just or dead pine needles, or spice is not bad. Like a bunch of dried spice. Big pile of pile of dried
I think that's right. Yeah, right. A cinnamon. Thank you, permanent cat. Cinnamon cloud breath attack. Thank you. That's exactly it. Great. I read these classic modules that have these kinds of punny monsters. Like, how the fuck did they get to this point where they were what brought them to this sad state of affairs? And I'm like, oh, well, here I am. Great. And you know what? I'm all for it. I'm 100% on this right now.
Okay. Number 3. Area number 3. We're running out of time. Yeah.
Right.
I got a 6 again.
Shit. Okay. I'm punishing the players. Roll another d20.
I got a 4.
Okay. How about a chimera? Do you feel good about a chimera?
Sure. Okay.
So number 3 giant, is an old horrible monsters.
Area number 3 is a ruin, right?
Right.
What's the main deal with a chimera? Right, it's like 3 parts or something.
It's 3. It's 3 heads: a goat, a lion, a dragon. It normally breathes fire. It's got wings.
Cool. So I'm imagining there's an old ruin. The creeping vines maybe start to get dried out and burnt up as you get closer to the center of the ruin, where there is a chimera who's basically fighting off the vines for its home.
Oh, great. Okay, yeah, I like that. Clever.
So I'm going to write ancient ruin where creeping jack is being held off.
I mean, that could have been. I might go not ancient, but maybe that was a recent farm that the thing took over and burnt up, and until recently they were growing more pumpkins there.
Great. Ruined farm where the creeping jack is being held off by the burning breath of a chimera.
Great.
Okay, number 4.
Give me a D6, and then
I got a 6 again.
Holy shit!
Gotta be kidding
Roll a
me.
D20. We're maxing out. We're going top end monsters here from original
I got
D&D.
another 4. I got another 4, which feels bogus. You want me to roll that again?
Yeah, roll it again.
Oh, same thing. Okay, I got a 9 the second time.
Now that would be a giant, that would be some kind of giant, actually.
I mean that we just talked about giants last week.
Right. We need to include giants, of course. So I feel like
Look at the map again. There's definitely something there, some kind of weird stone-looking something. I mean, now it could be. It doesn't really look like it in the map, but it could be the stalk of a giant pumpkin plant leading up into the clouds.
That's really good. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. It's a stalk of a giant pumpkin that goes up to a cloud where there's a cloud giant.
Pumpkin reaches up into the clouds.
Jeez, that's really good.
Stalk of a giant pumpkin reaches up into the gardens of a cloud giant.
And there's 2 cloud giants. They're a married couple.
Pair of cloud giants. Yeah, great. Maybe they're we can figure out what's going on with them. I'm kind of curious if they're like this is our nice pumpkin, or if they're like, oh, this horrible invasive species is coming up from the surface and ruining our garden, our nice garden. And we're always trying to cut it back.
I have that same dilemma.
Yeah, great. Let's leave it open to the DM to interpret. That's what I would say.
I like that.
Number 6. 10 minutes to go here, Dan. 2 areas left.
We can do this.
Okay.
Cloud giant hell.
I get a 1 on the D6 this time.
Okay.
Finally something different.
All right, roll a D10.
Okay. There's my 10. I got an 8.
Okay, now on my table I have human warriors.
Okay.
At 6. Human warriors. So we could, I mean, if that's not interesting enough, we could re-roll.
I don't know. I kind of like some normal people. There's some normal.
Yep.
Some like nomads camped out. Nomads camped out in the rocky terrain here. This is our weird rocky area in the southwest corner.
Great. Possessed, not possessed?
I don't know. How do they why are they camped here? Are they about to enter this valley? Are they about to are they avoiding it?
Are they defending from something further south? Maybe there's some kind of opponent further south that they're possessed and trying to fend off.
Oh, you mean because they are infested by the creeping jack and they're trying to fend off.
Yeah.
What if there are 2 camps of warring nomads here, one that's infested and one that's not?
Oh, well, that's it then. Great.
2 warring camps of nomads reside in the rocky terrain. One has been infested by the Um,
So while Paul's typing, I think we've got the seeds coming out of Area 7 now to answer a question in chat.
Correct. Okay. And area number 8 is our ruin atop the cliffs, the falls of which fall right into the pool before area number 7, which is our cave where the seeds come from. So what's in area number 8? I think I'm supposed to roll d6. I got
you tell me.
5.
Yes, please.
5.
Okay, so that's level 5. Roll a d12. Some kind of horrible monster.
11.
Great. That would be trolls, which I kind of like.
Trolls. Okay, so this I feel like is an older ruin then, like a.
Yes, I agree with that.
Maybe an old ruined tower, inhabited now by trolls who are probably also infested by Creeping Jack.
Yes,
giving me a number
absolutely. Yes, right. No, right. That many trolls.
Great. Any effect? Yes, this the I feel like viney living stuff like that maybe helps them resist fire a little more than they normally would.
I agree with that. Yeah, totally. Kind of shambling, kind of halfway to shambling mound status.
Yeah.
Yeah, wet, and they're by the river, right? So they've got vines actually trailing into the river there. That's pumping them full of, keeping them hydrated.
Yeah. So, an old ruined tower inhabited now by 4 trolls infested with Creeping Jack, whose watery pines grant say plus something resistance to fire.
Great.
Bonus they get plus something. Nice. 2, 4, something like that.
Yeah. Or half damage. Yeah. Half damage on a save or something. Or half damage without a save.
Isn't that like normally you hit them with a fireball, they're gonna save for half, right?
Right. So I'm saying half. Sometimes you do half damage even without a save, and no damage at all with a save is sometimes what you do.
Okay, great.
Creeping Jack trolls.
I'm just going to. Great. So that gives us all of our main areas, Dan. We've got like 4 minutes left here. I'm just going to come back here. So here's my notes. I got about a page and a half of notes here for the areas, which is great. We've got 2 interesting treasures. We've got a lot actually to stat out still. In terms of monsters, we haven't done wandering monsters yet, and we have to
want to see
spec out
how many wandering monsters we can do in 4 minutes.
Sure, why not?
We ought to have the warriors. Ought to have the goblins idea. I think. Ought to have a troll on that list. Kind of things. I tend to be like I tend to want the wandering monsters to be like stuff that has areas around here, stuff that has layers around here.
So nomads, you said, do we want them infested or uninfested or undeclared?
I think in 50-50. It's up to the dice.
Whatever it is, say 2d6 nomads. I'm making up numbers here. 50% chance they are infested.
Great.
Trolls, you said?
Yeah, just one troll.
1 troll.
Just one troll, I would say, yeah.
Troll. Is it Creeping Jack infested or no? He's fine.
Yes, 100%.
He's fine? He's escaped?
He's infested.
Oh. What else did you say? Gourd goblins.
Yep.
we'll figure out what the hell those are later. Maybe there's, I don't know, maybe another 2d6 of them, something like that.
Yeah,
What
3d6. Okay, then I don't know. Giant hogs that are eating the pumpkins.
Giant hogs. Okay. How about some envoys of the Pumpkin King?
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe they're out doing exactly what the Pumpkin King makes people do, which is spread the pumpkin seeds.
Great. And
ooh, are the giant hogs escaped from the cloud giants farmstead?
they are now. Yeah. Yes, they have now. They fell down. They fell off the cloud, squealing the whole way, but they're big enough that they survived. And now they're wandering around trying to find their way back home.
Awesome.
I'm very. You give me an inch, and I'm about to make the pig backstory deeper than anything else in the game.
All right, we are out of time. We need one more thing, so I'm saying we just steal William's suggestion from the chat here and say that there are some dire geese.
Brilliant.
Dire geese.
I love that.
Unflocked dire geese.
I love the geese and the hogs just running around honking and making a lot of noise. This valley is very loud.
I will say one thing about the Dungeon Design Dash, Dan, is I am never. I'm always surprised by the result. It is what we come up with is never what I expect.
No. I totally agree. And, thanks to Matt Finch's Tome of Adventure Design, and thanks to the viewers of Wandering DMs, because that is where most of the surprises come from for me.
Yeah, definitely. Happy with the title here of Creeping Doom of the Pumpkin King? You want to alter that at all?
I still like that. We were thinking of seeds of the Pumpkin King at one point. But I like this. I like. You know what? If the adventure has the title "Creeping Doom" in it, I'm pretty much sold on that. I think we like that. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, great.
That's great.
All right, well, there we go. Viewers, we will get this polished off. I know we're actually behind. The previous Dungeon Design Dash is still in edit mode. We did a pass of that recently, so we're fairly close to having that thing done and up there. Yeah. We'll try and get these pumped out, and the PDF will be delivered free to all patrons of the show and available for sale for other viewers for $1 at DriveThruRPG. So look for it there.
Spread the word.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, yeah. I think that felt like a successful dash.
I think that was good. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Very nice.
It's tight. Awesome. Thank you for the compliments in the chat too on that.
Any final thoughts on the creeping doom?
Yeah. I like that a lot. That was not what I expected. I right off the bat when we twisted the master villain into a plant, I was like, okay, this is a good day for Dan. I like the plants. I like the corrupted trolls. We got the giants in there, and my heart leaps at having giant hogs and dire geese. So
it definitely
almost kind of want to go live there.
Yeah, I'll say it fulfills what I was hoping for from this adventure, which is it feels to me, especially with the trail running straight through it, this feels to me like something you could drop in your campaign when the players are traveling across country from point A to point B, right? You want a little something to extend that, to be like, oh yeah, there's interesting stuff between this kingdom and the next. Maybe they pass through the valley of the creeping doom of the Pumpkin King, and that's terrifying. Maybe they just want to get the hell out of there, or maybe they want to right the wrongs and heal the land as they make their way onward, pass through the mountains or whatever. I like that area 1 and 6.
And I can see this as a shortcut.
Could be, I like that either 1 or 6 could be used as the entrance here. I feel like it actually doesn't matter which direction the players come from.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
I agree. I totally agree with that. Yeah. I can imagine that as a shortcut. You're doing like a really long journey, and then you say, now, if you want to, there's this valley pass that you've discovered you could try to go through. Do you want to do that and shortcut your travel time? Or go the long way and have more encounter rolls?
Nice. What a classic GM trick of like, do you want this seemingly nice, wonderful thing that's going to launch us into many weeks of more content? Yeah. Okay. Right. Viewers, if you there should be links, hopefully, in the show notes here of where you can go to get this PDF. Or if we haven't quite yet published it, yes, definitely leave us some comments if you have additional ideas to chuck in here last minute that we can, in the edit pass, work in. Let us know. Leave us some comments, leave us some feedback, or tell us what you would like to see in the next dash. Wilderness, this is the first time we've done Wilderness. How's the level range? Do you want to see a different level band? Do you want to see a different kind of area? Do you have a really cool map that you would love to see us use? Drop us a note in the comments. And we'll try to dig into that in the next dash.
Those would all be great seeds for our next thing that we grow live, quick with supernatural quickness. And of course, now that I'm in pure pun mode. And of course, remember, if you're new to the show, you can like, follow, and subscribe to us, the Wandering DMs. We are on YouTube and Twitch and Twitter and Facebook and GitHub and TikTok, and we have the handle Wandering DMs on all of those sites. So please look for us there.
If you prefer to listen to these shows in audio-only podcast format, you can find those podcasts at our website at wanderingdms.com. Also through various podcast carriers such as iTunes and Google Podcasts and Spotify and Stitcher. If you are listening to this right now on one of those sites, please take a moment to rate and review us on that site. That helps other users of that site find us, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, we really do. And of course, huge thanks to our patrons who support the show, give us all kinds of great ideas when we do our design dashes. And if you'd like to join them, please visit patreon.com/wanderingdms. And you'll see our different tiers. You get discounts on merch. You get access to our private Discord servers and our regular weekly after-party chat that we'll hold in about 10 minutes and continue the conversation. Maybe you have more ideas that we could add to the creeping doom of the Pumpkin King. And it's probably our favorite part of the week all the time. And we'll be chatting with our viewers live on Discord in about 10 minutes.
If you're not sure if now is the time to join the Patreon, let me tell you that this is the best time because we are now a little behind on 2 dashes. We're going to release these 2 dashes. Each one costs $1. That's $2. You could spend $1, join the Patreon, get them both for free.
What a great deal! What a great deal! Thank you for that, Paul. And don't forget about our upcoming shows. So I'll be back Thursday night as I try more of this great new game on Steam called Pool of Radiance. And you know what? I was working on that last night. I was actually bulking up my party more. Okay, so I've fine-tuned my parties, and this Thursday the kid gloves come off, and on Thursday I'm coming in with a full party of 8. And I'm not taking any prisoners, and I'm going to finally start to put the beat down on Pool of Radiance. So, Paul, I know you've been watching those sessions the day after or so. So hopefully I'll make you proud.
I'm an episode behind, so I need to catch up still. But I'm eager to see Dan try and put the hurt down on Pool of Radiance. Hopefully it doesn't get bogged down with wandering monsters. Good luck, Dan.
Pretty sure I'm going to do that this Thursday. And, of course, don't forget we'll be back next week. We are live every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So please join us again next week. And we've got some interesting ideas for what we're going to do next week. So please join us again next week for another thought-provoking discussion.
Well.